Welcome to the North Texas CommunityDifference-Denton, powered by the Difference Media LLC and 2940 The Difference Radio, the voice of small businesses and the communities they serve. Today's show is hosted by Matt Kern, entrepreneur and founder of Denton Does It, and co-hosted by Beth Cottle, realtor with eXp Realty. The North Texas CommunityDifference-Denton
is created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals. So sit back and relax as our co-host and their guests share thoughts and insights about being a professional and the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in a very special way.
Because the North Texas CommunityDifference-Denton
starts now.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the North Texas CommunityDifference-Denton. I am Lyndon Wilson. I am the creator of the Difference Radio live stream and podcast. We created this about 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago, with the intent of helping small businesses be seen, be heard, and be remembered by utilizing the tools of social media and a lot of the most popular platforms. And this thing has grown, it's evolved, and it's turned in now to some of our most popular shows are our community shows. We have Frisco, we have Wiley. We're working on bringing on Rockwall, Rowlett and McKinney, and obviously Denton. Denton is today's our first show, and I want to bring on now who will be the host, who is the host, the one and only Matt Kern. How are you doing, Matt?
Hey, Lyndon, what's going on, man? Can you believe we've made it to this point?
Well, and we've done it pretty quick. What was it? A month, maybe 6 weeks ago, maybe not that much. You reached out and said you saw, I think, the Frisco show and said, hey, can we do a Denton one? And I'm like, absolutely, we can. And so thank you for all your work. I know it's, it takes a lot to put these things together and build the team that you want. That one of the things that I've run into is sometimes there's a lot of people wanting to do it, and we don't want to exclude anyone. But there's a certain commitment it takes to yourself, and then being able to put this show together. And I've been really impressed with part of it, Matt, is helping people be more connected. And we're talking about the co-host and the sponsors and things like that, right? Just that reach that we have. But if you are already connected, that's even better. It's really cool. And, you and I've known each other, 4 or 5 years now, maybe. Met, I think, through Brian Poduska, possibly. I don't know.
Dobbs.
Was it?
Brian.
Yeah.
Brian
Dobbs. It was Brian Dobbs.
Yeah, and then then the other Brian.
Yeah, and then the other Brian. I run those two together sometimes. And but we've been to a lot of networking events together, a lot of the real estate type stuff, and I was excited when you reached out. I'll tell you that. I don't think I've got a chance to tell you because I know the kind of person you are. I know what core values you have. I know what's in your heart, and serving people, helping people do well. That's something that you do well. And so I was when you reached out and said Denton, I'm like, I don't have anybody in Denton. I'd love to get Denton on board. And so I think you're the perfect person to do it. And I appreciate you.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you too. I appreciate you are right about the work that it takes to get one of these going. If we haven't discussed this before, so a year ago, podcasting was on my vision board. That was one of the things that I had discussed and set up with my business coach as one of the things that I wanted to get started. And it got delayed a little bit just due to other reasons, but it was still a goal that was set. So I'm checking that box off now.
Awesome.
And I appreciate you because I see the work that you're doing behind the scenes. And it takes a lot to produce and get it, going. So thank you for allowing me just to show up and look pretty.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. I mean, the haircut does it, so I love that. But you know what? It is, not only are we podcasting, but we're live streaming on 3 different channels. We're probably going to be picking up a few more channels that we're live streaming on. And then we just started our radio station back in May, and that's growing like crazy. I mean, we're over 1,000 listeners. Now, this is internet radio, right? It's not
Right.
terrestrial radio.
That's
We're
right.
over 1,000 listeners per day on that. And we have a mix of talk radio with everybody's favorite music. And
Yeah.
when I say favorite, I mean favorite. It is country, it's classic country, it's old school country, it is classic rock, a little bit of metal. We kind of coordinate when that's going to play because that's not that's not for everybody, but it's
Yeah.
been really fun and people have really enjoyed it.
And
Enjoyed
tell
that.
everybody that radio station so they know how to
It
find it.
is 2940 The Difference. You can find that on at www.thedifferenceradio.com. All of our live streaming, our podcasting channels, and the radio player is all in that one location. So
Right.
if you're looking to download the podcast, you can do it from there. If you're looking to watch live, we're actually delayed on our website right now. This will play probably an hour after we go live. But the radio thing is going live, so that's pretty cool.
Well, I think a lot of people, when Facebook Live, YouTube Live, LinkedIn Live, everybody started coming out live. A lot of people always thought, "Oh my goodness, I need watchers. I need people, the audience on there at the live."
Yeah.
And really, it's not all about being the live, it's the rebroadcast. The rebroadcast gives people, like you and I talked about the other day, what we're doing in this type of networking is we're saving the time. We're recording the time that it took for us to talk about whatever that subject and that networking topic was for the day, and
Hmm.
that anybody can listen to it at any point in time, start and stop it, either watch it or not watch it, listen to it or not listening to it,
Yeah.
and uh, and then replay and share with others.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm glad you mentioned that because something I want to share that often goes unshared is, we've been doing this for 3.5 years. We've had over 600 shows, over 1,600 guests. We've got people that were sponsoring 2 years ago that no longer sponsor with us. We got people that were on shows and had shows over 2 years ago that no longer are doing it. But guess what? They're still getting views.
Yeah,
You can look back and those shows that, had done 10,000 views, 15,000 views, they're now up to 20. And I'm having some of the old people call me and go, now I see what you were talking about. Because even though I'm not a part of the difference anymore actively, I'm still getting calls and emails and
that's right.
people talking to me about what it is that I do.
Yeah,
And so it's been powerful. I mean, Brian Poduska's got one of the best stories is how he's, we're getting that Texas influx of the West Coast California folks.
yes,
And when they get on and they Google and they start looking for people with certain businesses, our videos are one of the first things that pops up because that's how Google works, right? Videos uh, more valuable in their eyes than just a static website. And so when they start looking for an industry, these things start popping up. And he started getting business off that. And I share with him, I'm like, it's fine for you to bring those California folks in, but make sure they understand this is Texas once they get here. So hopefully, we keep the Texas spirit alive.
amen, brother, amen. Yeah.
All right. Well, I want you now to bring on your co-host for today, and that would be Miss Beth. Really appreciate her for being a part. She's also a sponsor on the show. We
Yeah.
don't have our commercials running today, but we should have those by next week. So I'm excited about that. But go ahead and
Yeah.
introduce Beth.
First co-host today.
Absolutely.
So Beth Caudell, not only is she a real estate agent in the local area, she's gone to school here. She's had a previous business here before her real estate business. This year, she is our association, which is the Greater Denton Wise County Association Realtor. She's our 2023 president. She's on many committees on the board. She's involved with a lot of different things here in the Denton area. And as y'all know me, I always talk about networking and real estate, which I think we're connected to all. So Beth, I'm excited for you to be on with us today. I appreciate your support and I appreciate you joining in and sitting down and listening to what I had to talk about when we talked about this podcast networking. And really, Beth said, "Whatever you need, Matt, I'm in." And she didn't even hardly hear any of it first, but then she got to. So I'm glad that you get to be joining in today. It's really exciting. I'm trying to hold back because her and I have done so much stuff together over the years and have gone along. And she's been very supportive and helpful. And I believe I've been that way with her too. So I'm glad that she's here with us today. So welcome, Beth.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. It's going to be. It is the first one. Yeah. I'm excited. I want to help people. I mean, like you said, when you told me about it, I'm like, what can I do? I'm here for you. And that's how I feel like I try to be with everybody. So yes. Anything I can do to help grow the knowledge of the area or to help people understand what's going on with real estate or anything else that I might know about. I am not a Dentonite exactly. I grew up in Fort Worth, but got here as soon as I was able to, once I graduated from high school.
Did you know I grew up in Fort Worth also?
No, I didn't know that.
But I went to elementary school in 5th grade here in Denton.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're similar.
Yeah. I grew up on the west side. How about you?
Richland Hills.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, my mom was a teacher in the Birdville School District there off Ruth Snow.
Yeah,
so we grew up pretty close to that area right there. Yeah, but moved to Denton. Yeah, in 75.
So I technically moved here to come to college when I was 17. That was in 1985. Sorry, sharing my age. Probably don't need to do that.
But UNT graduate, right?
Yep. It was actually the first year that UNT was UNT. So before that, it was North Texas State University. Mm-hmm. And because we were that graduating class, we got to decide if we wanted UNT or NTSU on our diploma.
I'll be.
Oh, wow. Which one did you
do? UNT.
Okay.
Gotta go with what's moving forward in the world.
Right.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So my mom, going back to my mom again, she went to college at North Texas and then she retired from the staffing personnel department at North Texas.
Oh, nice.
So crazy, right? Yeah, which is interesting because I told y'all earlier that all of our guests on today all have something in common, and several of y'all have several things in common today too. So I'm excited about that. And so tell us about what you've been doing with the president, leadership at the association. What's been going on with that?
Oh, yeah, sure. So I've done a lot of traveling on behalf of the Board of Realtors and traveled to Washington, D.C., Orlando, Austin, Fort Worth, all in the name of helping better our real estate community, but also helping property owners to have a voice in what is going on. Taxation is a big deal, property tax stuff.
Yeah.
So we try to influence. Texas Realtors tries to influence, what is going on in the legislature in Austin. So it's a huge, huge, huge job. And I knew it was a big job, but I don't think I knew how huge it was until I was kind of thrown in here, you're going to travel this many times this year. And so usually we're all focused on the county and what's going on and how we can help people buy or sell a house. Right. But then it became a greater good and a greater cause and helping realtors even understand why it's important to invest and, monies for political action things with the Texas Realtors and how to help people just kind of understand that whole concept. It's been an amazing whirlwind of being the president. I mean, really.
Well, we appreciate you being our president this year, and because we've been on committees together for several years,
right.
and supporting our local GDWCAR. So I think we're fixing to go to a commercial here in just a second, and then we're going to bring on our other guest.
All right. Well, we'll hit this commercial, and we'll be right back. Everybody stick around because we got some more good guests coming. We'll be right back.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Are you stressed about health insurance? Juan Payon at JP Direct Health can help. JP Direct Health offers a wide variety of plans to fit your needs and your budget, and we're here to answer any questions you have. We're committed to providing our customers with the best possible service, and we're always looking for ways to save you money. So what are you waiting for? Get started today and see how JP Direct Health can help you get the health insurance you need. Call Juan today at 1-800-555-1212.
Do you want your home or office to sparkle? Then call Elite Diamond Cleaning today. From basic cleaning to deep cleaning, and using only the highest quality cleaning products and equipment, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Our team of experienced cleaners will work quickly and efficiently to clean every nook and cranny, taking care of all the details so you don't have to. With a variety of pricing options to fit any budget, you can be sure that you are getting the best possible price. Call Elite Diamond Cleaning today at 214-300-9876 to schedule a free estimate. Your home and office is a diamond. Let us get it out of the dust.
Are you looking for new or more reliable and affordable home services? Look no further than Utility Connect. At Utility Connect, we understand that every customer is different. Thanks to our partnership with The Difference, our free concierge service seamlessly shops all of your utilities and services for your home or business with one easy phone call. So what are you waiting for? Call Utility Connect today and experience the difference. For more information, give us a call at 469-414-2033 or visit us at www.utilityconnect.net/thedifference to learn more.
And now back to the show.
All right.
All right. We made it.
We did. First quarter of the first show is in the books.
It sure is.
We're back.
Yeah, it seems like, it's like when you plan to do something, then it's like, hurry up. And you get to that date and that time, and then it's like, okay, like 4th of July, it's done, and then you move on.
Absolutely. The good thing about this, though, Matt, is each show, each group of people you have on, it's all these new personalities. Every show is different. And that's what, our format, that's what we wanted to be able to do. I mean, unless you're Joe Rogan, of course, he has different guests on all the time. Most people don't hear what we want to hear, what we got to say over and over and over again. Right. No. And so, I mean, we bring on so much, there's so much conversational topics that we have. Everybody's got a different connection to Denton, and they're going to be able to share those connections. They're going to be able to talk about the different events and the people and the places in Denton that, you or I may not always talk about. And so it's just that diversity and variety. I think that's what's been able to help us build the audience that we built. We got a lot of people watching right now, too. I'm pretty excited about that.
Well, that's why I started Denton Does It, is because I wanted to make that connection between the people who are local, the people who are coming into the area, and the people who are business people who are trying to find out what's going on in the Denton area and how I can showcase other events, showcase other businesses. I always promote to shop local and support your local business person too, whether it's in real estate or it's in, a local mom and pop business, in the area too, because we're all working towards, bettering our lives and our family too.
Well, and that's the thing that, I, being an entrepreneur for 30 years and facing all the challenges that they face at some point in time, the obscurity part not enough people know who we are. That's why a lot of times we suffer.
Right.
And we are, if you try to do a regular television advertisement, it's outrageous. And, the costs are prohibitive for us local small business owners. And so, but with social media and with that being where everybody's watching, right? Everybody's looking. This gives us an opportunity to go directly to the people that we need and we want to serve and help us grow our businesses, and just let people know in our community that who we are. We're not just a business, right? We're moms and dads and little league coaches and parents and all the different things that make our communities what they really are. So
That's right. That's right. And, if people don't realize this, they will now, that we're at the top of our triangle of the Metroplex. We are the pyramid. We are right here at the top.
Right.
Denton is at the top, not at the bottom.
right.
We're at the very top. And as people really get to know what Denton is about and what we do here in our local area, I think more and more people will realize what they have been missing. And here's a place to come. And another thing is a place to come, a place to be safe, and a place to enjoy yourself in time with your family here also.
Absolutely.
All right. So since saying all that, we had to have somebody on here who's leading us all in the top of the pyramid. And not only that, our other two guests that I brought on today are local business people who live here in the Denton area too. And I will expel on all the similarities that we all have that are on the show today. But our next guest is a local guy. He grew up here in the Denton area. He has served on many committees. He's served on council. He's volunteered. He's been involved. He's a UNT graduate also. Any guesses, Beth? It is Mayor Gerard Hudspeth.
Yay!
Hey, there he is.
Hi, Gerard.
Unmute
Hello.
yourself. There you go.
Hey, how are you all?
Hey, man, I'm glad that you
Good.
unmuted before you said anything, because you might have said too many good things and we would have missed it.
For sure. Yeah. That's I'm infamous for mute buttons. Don't look that up.
Okay. Hey, we are so glad that you came on today. Thank you for being on the first Denton show.
Yes. No, what a treat, man. I really enjoy this. You shared with me your vision and where you were, and excited to see this you're making it happen.
We are making it happen, and we're going to. This is consistently going to be on as really August 1st, Mayor. We're going to be on every Tuesday at 11:30. So,
Okay.
Your cycle should come back around quickly, when you got something to say, and upcoming events and things like that are going on too. And because, one of the things that I want to talk about, and I want to bring on our other guests too in just a minute, is the things that we do have that are similar in our businesses and in our regular lives. And that is being on committees and serving in our local municipality some way or another, or in our local real estate, and volunteering and giving up our time and supporting others and giving back. Can you tell us a little bit about why you got into, the mayor race? And before that, you were on some council meeting, had gone some council meetings, and you had gotten into some of those committees also, right?
Yes. Yeah. No, and great question, great segue. Great to have Beth here. She already touched on it, right? The realtors are very involved in the kind of making sure there are vetting candidates and making sure everyone's aware and sharing that information. So there's a direct connection there with the realtors. But yes, so served on council since 2017. And really in 2020 threw my hat in the mayor's race because, again, like you said, born and raised here, and just the previous mayor, Watts, was term limited, couldn't go forward. And I thought, shame on me if no one else was going to step up, that I didn't step up and continue his vision and add that continuity and make sure that I believe the city of Denton keeps moving in a great direction. And so that's why I threw my hat in the ring, and yes, served on. So I ran a couple of times before I won in 2017 and lost. Don't recommend that. Winning's better. But out of that, I got involved, like you said, in other committees, planning and zoning, and you kind of learn each time and you get plugged in a little different and just really enjoy problem solving. That's really at the core of it. I feel like I have a unique experience, unique viewpoint on problem solving, and want to bring that to the table. So that's what I wanted to offer.
Yeah, because problem solving is obviously when you have growth in your city and you have development in your city, it's going to bring on, you have to be a problem solver to be able to be flexible, to know the right directions to take so you don't waste time and money and the taxpayers' money, because that's what everybody's always pointing at, right? Yes. And also, too, is the question is, what are you doing now, right?
Right.
So you're only as good as the last thing that you've done, to help the community.
Yes. No. And a great example of exactly what you said is we just have Independence Day, and I believe the city was split absolutely in half between live fireworks and drone show. And how do you problem solve around that, right? You got to, someone's very angry about, or someone's very happy, and how do you bring those two together and keep moving us forward?
Yeah. How do you deal with balance?
Man, that's a great question. And I am a little privileged because I've had 50 years with my dad, and he's absolutely tenacious, and he's a force, and it's the best training ground ever, right? You got to have thick skin. But really for me, it's trying to reach the most people and stay focused, exactly like what you said, on the core issues, what's most important. And some of those little things you're going to have to let fall by the side, right? So we got to focus on tax rate because that has a huge impact on people, but we also got to have enough money. This year we're looking at $1.9 billion that we'll spend as a city. And so just that growth, and how do you stay in front of it, but not get way in front of it? And how do we stay competitive and those sort of things? So for me, it's just a matter of, big rocks in first, right? Tax, streets, first responders, you touched on it. Safety is just critical. You just cannot grow your city if people don't feel safe there. So those are kind of the big things you put in first. And then as you have just kind of opportunities. So for example, one of the things I'm pushing is e-bikes for our bike police officers, because as they're cycling, I want them to burn energy when they're engaging with someone, not pedaling up Oak Street, right? So I want them to save energy when they're getting around, so that they can have energy when they arrive. So just hearing what the community needs and trying to address that, and after you kind of cover the big things.
Yeah, Beth, I'm sure that this is really for both y'all, but Beth, I want you to go first on this. Is what Mayor Hudspeth talked about was staying focused on the things that have to get done. As the president this year of the GDWCAR Association, you got to stay in focus, and you got to keep your goals in front of you, and don't listen to the poo-pooers, because somebody's always going to say something negative. Well, why aren't you doing this instead of doing that? Why did you decide to do it that way? Right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the thing is that you've got to keep, in my mind, I always think of it like plate spinning. Keep this plate spinning, keep this plate spinning, keep this one spinning. And then you can't let the other plates come in, try to throw and knock them down, or, whatever. So you got to really stay focused on those things you're trying to achieve. But also, there's always going to be stuff coming up that you didn't anticipate, I think. And you have to sort of weather the storm of, if that needs to be a right now, sometime in the future, or never ever go away, kind of issue. So you kind of have to figure out what you're going to do, or where you're going to put it on the plate, and understanding what is a fire and what is not a fire.
Right.
So that you know how to balance all that stuff. It is kind of what I see in my role.
And prioritize. You're not only your your day, but your hours of your day and your week to make sure you get things done.
I've gotten very efficient at managing my calendar this year.
I
Truth.
bet both of y'all have over the last
Mhm.
few years, you know,
Yeah.
in the roles that y'all play. So we're fixing to go to a commercial in just a second. Then we're going to bring on our other two guests, the local Denton business people. And then we're going to talk about our topic today. And our topic today is personal branding. And so I have some thoughts to personal branding. And I think that will reveal today the things that we all have in common through this also.
The Difference Media LLC radio, live stream, and podcast network can be heard at www.thedifferenceradio.com or live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and downloaded on Spotify, Google, Apple iHeart, and many more podcast channels. The Difference Radio live stream and podcast, the voice of small businesses and the communities they serve.
We back?
Wow, that was a quick one, wasn't it? Okay. All right. Well, I want to bring on our next two guests. So we have a lineup today. So our next two guests, first one is Cole Martin. And Cole was obviously raised in Denton. Everybody knows Cole. And everybody knows Cole for not just because he was raised here and he's been around, but for the influence that he has made in this community and for the work that he has done, not just in his own business, but how he's helped people. And our other, and last but not least, our other guest on today is Tina Shoemaker. And so Tina is not from Denton originally, but she already acts like she is. And just a great person, a great business person, a great person to network with. And she does have commonalities with the rest of us of some of the things that we're all doing. So I thought that this would be a great show for us to all be together and share our own opinions. So bring on the other guests, Lyndon. There's
Hey.
Cole. There's Tina.
Hi, guys.
Hi, thank you.
Hey, how's it going?
Really good.
Okay. Well, I think we all know each other. We've all been involved with some things. And so I just want to go through this lineup before we go through our topic. But I do want Cole and Tina to tell us a little bit about each other. But the things that we have in common, one is we do business in Denton. Check. Two, we all are involved in the chamber. Check. Three, we all volunteer. Check. Four, we're on some kind of committee or on some kind of board or in some kind of council. And we all network together. Yes?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. And so whether you're the mayor or you're just the title guy, you know, in the Denton community, or the president of the Association of Real Estate here in Denton, or an insurance guy or a mortgage gal, we all have something in common, and we all are a spoke in the wheel of, you know, the bigger picture. And so, Cole, tell us a little bit about yourself real quick, and then Tina, let Tina go first.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hello. Hi, Matt. Thank you so much for having me on here. I was really excited when you asked me about it. It's my first podcast, so I'm, a little nervous.
Isn't that great? And the first podcast of the Denton show too.
Yes. So lots of firsts today. Yes, I have been in mortgage lending for 30 years. I'm a third generation banker. I have started this when I was in college, and I've never gotten out, and I just absolutely love it. I love being a part of the community here in Denton. Everybody is very welcoming. And I really appreciate that. That has just been amazing, walking into a room of not knowing anybody, and someone like you, Matt, coming up to me at my first event, introducing yourself and just kind of taking me underneath your wing. And it's been great. I just love it. And working at American National Bank and Trust is a true community bank, which is what I have always worked in. And I really enjoy the people here and enjoy that they're also in the community as well and allow me to be in the community.
Well, I think too, Tina, is that you didn't pull back and close up your hands. You let me take you by the hand and introduce you and share and
Yes.
be an ambassador for, for that time that you needed to
Mhm.
meet other people. And you got on that train, sister, and you have taken
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
And if y'all see on anything on social media, you will see Tina Shoemaker on everything. You're going to everything now. And that's one
That's
of the
right.
things we're going to talk about today is obviously the balance of that.
Yes.
So I'm glad to have you on our first show, and I'm glad it's your
Thank you.
first podcast too.
Yeah.
So Cole,
Thank you.
welcome, brother.
Thank you.
Cole and I do a lot of networking together, and we're ambassadors on the Chamber of Commerce here in Denton. As
Me too.
Beth,
I'm an
Beth is,
ambassador
Beth
too.
is too. Tina has not made that choice yet, or
I am. I have my first meeting for it next week.
there you
So
go.
I will be an
Okay.
ambassador.
So
Yes.
she's going to be part of the circle. So I was
Yes.
going to have to kick you off, but now I'll
Yeah.
keep you on.
I'm still on.
Hey, Cole, so I'm just glad you're here today, and I'm glad that you are one of the guests on the first broadcast here for the Denton chapter.
Well, me too. I really appreciate the invite. I'll have to second what Tina said. This is my first podcast ever. So big honor to be here on the first one for the Denton chapter. Thank you very much. Matt, this might sound like a correction, but it's not. I'm sort of half Denton, half Texas Panhandle. So
That's right.
The elementary school here, and then moved up to the Texas Panhandle for middle school, high school, and then got back to Denton as soon as I could after. So,
And where did you go to elementary school in Denton?
I'm Sam Houston Texan.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So.
All right. So I started at Jennings.
Oh,
and
nice.
then I went to Newton Razor after that, and then I went to Crum after that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
So
just a little about me. I'm have been back in Denton for about 8 years. I opened my own insurance agency about 3 years ago, and that has been an amazing opportunity and experience for me and my family. Many people, since we're talking with chamber folks here, many people know me as Courtney's husband. I may or may not even have a name tag that says so. It kind of became a joke when I joined the chamber, and I said, if you keep it up, I'm going to get a name tag made. So that's kind of my thing. I'm the name tag guy. But loving being back in Denton and just being able to help and show up and serve in the community wherever I can.
yeah. What made you decide to come back to Denton? And what made you decide to start a business in Denton? You could have chosen anywhere.
Sure. So the opportunity to move back to Denton actually came in the form of a job opportunity for Courtney. She took on a new role with the school district as a community engagement coordinator. And so that's what prompted our move back to Denton. We met and married in Oklahoma. Again, got back to Texas as soon as we could, but that's what prompted our move. And for the next 4 years, next 4 years, I worked in Dallas. So while I was in Denton, it kind of felt like I just spent nights and weekends here. And didn't really, Courtney was out in the community with the school district, getting to know a lot of people and help and get involved. And I pretty much just heard that anecdotally at night and on the weekend. So having the opportunity to open my own business where I live has just been a great opportunity.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're here. I'm always proud to have you as a co-member in the chamber and in our networking groups that we all attend, and being a local business guy too, because, in any of this networking, it's know, like, and trust. In any of our business, it's know, like, and trust. Listen, if I didn't know the mayor in any way, then I don't know if I would like him or trust him. But you're so open, Gerard, that you're just a family guy, here living in Denton, growing up here. When we're here from the North Texas area, we're called the good old boys, and gals. And you're the type of person that has time to talk. you have never pushed me away, and you've always greeted me in a personal way, and I appreciate you being that way.
Yeah. No, it's great, and Cole touched on it, and let me commend you on the group you pulled together. I've talked to Cole, his path, if you've not pulled him aside and talked to him about his path to the insurance agency and kind of from retail to this to that, I mean, it's an amazing story, and just getting to know him and his family is just dynamic, so it's really neat. Obviously, Tina has been a wonderful addition to the city. Just can't say enough about her family. And Beth and I become close friends. So it's just, that networking, getting to know all the people here really helps, because you can just get so much wisdom out of them, so much knowledge and experience. But I do wish that I had the experience like the people that didn't grow up here to know, Matt, I always see your office and I see the different restaurants. I can't get that out of my head.
I know, right?
So if I hadn't been here, I wouldn't know all the different restaurants.
Right.
I was like, hey, that used to be, but it's great. No, it's
shout out to Tia's Mexican food.
Rest in peace, right?
Because that was the beginning. We would have not had El Guapo's if it hadn't been for Tia's. Right. Because shout out to Mike Zambino. Zambino, is that
You're
it?
close.
Yeah, close. Mike Z. He knows who I'm talking about, but for having that business here for so many years too. So what I want to get to today is we need to get to our topic and discuss this before our next commercial. But what I want everybody to talk about is your personal branding. But I think what happens with our personal branding also is it comes from our reputation. And that reputation comes from the line that you draw in the sand, your morals, the conditions and the values that you live by, and what you allow to influence you in a positive way, and also really in a negative way too. But I think one of the things too that we all go through is having to balance that life out in business and family with the volunteering that we do and the networking that we do and working from day to day in our regular jobs. I mean, we do have to make a living to help pay the bills, because they always keep coming, and not allow privacy invasion. And what I mean by that is, how far do we go before we feel like our privacy is invaded? What do you think about that, Beth?
Well, I mean, I think it's all part of it, right? Like, I'm completely immersed in this world, if you will, of Denton, and I've been married a long time, 29 years. Oh my gosh, y'all, I had to think about it, Lord. Yeah. And like, I remember when my kids were little, I took them with me on appointments. They were really good, smart boys. And like, I remember one of the funniest thing is I was at a closing, and one of the title agents ran into this closing, and she goes, "Oh my God, it's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life." And I'm like, "What?" And my son was asleep on the chair out in the lobby. And he was just, but one of the funniest things that ever happened when the kids were real little is that they would go with me. And of course, it was like my very first real estate transaction. And my kid heard me talking about, who I did the transaction with. And it was a man, and he completely confused it for another woman's picture on her real estate sign, which has always taught me to have a current real estate picture whenever I do any pictures on my signage. So
thank you for saying that.
Important that people know what we are, who we look like, what we look like this year versus 20 years ago. That's how long I've been doing real estate, but trying to always be involved in the community. And I just think it goes with it. I do have personal time, but I'm always happy to help anybody that needs my help. And I think everybody on this whole panel could say the exact same thing, because I feel that from all you guys too.
We're fixing to go to
this group.
we're fixing to go to commercial here in just a second, but I agree with you on that. You got to keep an up-to-date picture, on everything, because look, when I find you on the internet and then I meet you in person, and if you don't look the same, you're freaking me out, right? Now I'm not sure I'm really talking to the same person.
You're like, who was that?
I know, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
I need to know I can trust you on video as much as I do in person.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think we're fixing to go to commercial, and then we're going to wrap up or just let everybody else talk about our topic on personal branding, and then we'll move on to the next part.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Are you a small business owner who is struggling to make ends meet? Do you need funding to grow your business? If so, then you need to talk to Jim Thomas at Business Funding Solutions. We offer fast, easy, and affordable financing options for small businesses of all sizes. We have helped thousands of businesses get the funding they need to succeed, and we can do the same for you. Our financing options start at $5,000 and go all the way up to $5 million, with no minimum credit score required. And with our 60-second application and 24-hour funding, you'll get the money you need quickly so you can focus on growing your business. Don't wait any longer. Contact Jim Thomas today at 214-629-7223 or find him on our website at www.thedifferenceradio.com. And don't forget to tell him you heard about him on The Difference. Are you a small or large business owner? Do you need insurance to protect your business and help manage risk? If so, then you need to talk to Stephen Pine with Patterson & Associates Insurance. Patterson & Associates offers a wide variety of commercial insurance policies to fit the needs of businesses of all sizes. We understand that every business is different, which is why we offer customized policies to meet all risk management needs. So what are you waiting for? Contact Stephen and Patterson & Associates Insurance today and get the peace of mind that comes with knowing your business is protected. Visit www.piainsure.com or call 972-669-2431 to learn more.
Are you looking to buy a home? The process can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. With the help of a qualified loan officer like Paul Fisher, you can get the financing you need and get into your dream home. Paul Fisher, a direct local lender with Certainty Home Lending, has many years of experience helping people buy homes. He's knowledgeable, experienced, and he'll work with you to find the best loan for your needs. Contact Paul Fisher today to get started on your home buying journey. He'll help you every step of the way, so you can relax and focus on finding your dream home. Visit www.loansbyfisher.com or call 817-308-7361 to schedule a consultation with Paul. MLS number 2018111.
And now back to the show.
All right. We are back, and we're talking today about personal branding. One of the things I do want to bring up before we go to everybody to talk about this is, you'll see that we have commercials on and we have sponsors on, and co-host, myself and Beth Caudell are going to be the beginning co-host of this Denton chapter show. But I'm looking for people who want to be other co-hosts that want to bring on their guests, want to showcase not only themselves, but other people too, and sponsors too. We can't do this show for free, and we have to pay for it ourselves. And so if you're interested in being part of this show and getting from the ground floor up and the start of the Denton chapter, I would appreciate if you'd reach out to me or to Lyndon Wilson, and we'll talk with you guys about that and give you all the information that you need so you can make an educated decision if you would like to be a sponsor. Because as you see now, we have sponsors that are not they're not local right now, but I would love to see this fill up, and that we can showcase all the local businesses here too. So, Mayor, I'm going to let you start first on this. So how do you look at your reputation? And you have an opinion of your reputation as we have an opinion of your reputation. So tell us what you think your reputation is, and how has that influenced your personal branding, not only as getting voted for and becoming mayor of the city of Denton, but also for your business too?
Great question. Thank you. And so, look, focusing in on reputation, I believe it's one, and I think it's one that is, I'm active, I'm engaged, like it or love it, and I take I'll take direct questions, direct criticism pretty well, all things considered. I have good days, bad days with that, but try to be great about it. And then have area to grow, right? Room to grow on just kind of how management and not getting to select your coworkers it has its challenges, right? And so how do you balance that and the news and those sort of things, and how do you make sure you maintain demeanor and act according to the position you hold? And those are things that I continue. You never reach it, right? You never get there. I always say the bumps are what you climb on. Continuing to work to get better with that, but also just really important to engage and talk to people and hear what's really going on versus what you see in different social media platforms, because that can skew the data, right? So it's important to talk to people firsthand, talk to business owners, talk to residents, and have a true read of what's going on, and then get back to problem solving. And I couldn't agree more with what Beth said about just kind of bringing your family along. I incorporate them in almost everything I do, because that's how it works, right? And that it works well for us to do it that way. But then ultimately, Matt, I can't stress enough the importance of continuing that and not resting and getting comfortable thinking, okay, well, I've reached a lot of people. Let me just kind of level out. It was just 6 months ago. So the election was 2022, my last one. And so in May that wrapped up. But I had someone about 6 months ago come up to me and say, hey, how did that re-election thing go? Did you win? I was like, man, I thought I was out there. I thought I talked to people pretty regular. I thought that was well known, but that's always, right? There's that. It's like my 6-year-old, right? You think you know something, and then your 6-year-old's like, no. Stop it.
It's very humbling, isn't it? It's a slap upside the face, like, yeah, you just thought you were out there. You just thought you were making an impression on it. Exactly. I have instructed people in the real estate market for a lot of years, and I've taught some of the same classes over and over every year. And it's funny how one person says, oh, I didn't know you could do that. I was like, yeah, I've taught you this like 5 times. And it's like, am I not getting the message across? Because it humbles you, right? It's like, am I not the one getting the message across? Is it me? Am I the one that's not saying the right words, or is it other people that are just too busy to listen to what you're saying?
Yes.
And it can be all of that too, right?
Exactly.
On that. And so what do you think your reputation is as mayor?
Yeah, no, I think my reputation, I believe, is one of the most active, kind of engaging mayors the city has had in a while, just because I have young kids and we just that's my approach. Then I think if you ask a segment of people, they'll say I'm pretty heavy-handed, and that's true, right? As far as my leadership style, that sort of thing. And then I'm pretty patient, all things considered, right? Now, there'll be absolutely 51% of people that disagree with that, but that's okay, right? That's occupational hazards, right? And that is where that's the reputation, I believe. And then just it's very well known, just a stickler for tax money and being careful and time. I place a premium on people's time, and I successfully have worked hard. We used to meet every week. Now we meet every other week. Now we have the meetings down to about 5 hours each time, because, Matt, if you want to serve on council, you have to work, and I need to make it so that you can do both, right? So that we have a great talent pool and people that can continue to serve in our city. We've got to get the meetings down, but that's not everyone's desire. And so there's kind of that, hey, I can be called a stickler for time, those sort of things, and that's okay. I don't know that we put a high enough premium on our time and staff time, et cetera, because you never really, before you can hire someone and take that next step, all small business owners know this. I mean, you get to that point where you're you're wearing so many hats and you're at max capacity, and you finally get over the hump, and then you can hire someone to give you a little relief. It's almost like driving a stick shift, right? Y'all are too young to remember that, but you drive a stick shift and you got to rev it up to then go to second gear and those sort of things. So it's a similar thing when you're hiring. You got to get in the red a little bit, and you're like, man, this is unsustainable this way. Okay, let's bring on someone, but you can't do it early until you have the workload and et cetera to support that decision.
That's right. So Tina, since you're new to the area here, do you think that the same reputation that you had before in your other state that you lived in, it followed you to here too? I mean, you're not different there than you are here, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm not. And, but I had to kind of also figure out who's the new Denton Tina, because I want to make the same, community involvements that I did in the past, because I am very passionate about that. And I feel like it's very important, not only personally, but, it's a good business decision to do that. People want to do business, with somebody that is involved with their community, because that means they care about their community.
That's right.
So that was very important to me. And like, Beth and the mayor has stated that it is all about balance. Even coming into a new community, you want to do everything, but that's just not possible. So it's finding out, it's doing your homework. It is going to the events, but then knowing, okay, this one may not be a good fit for me, but this one over here is amazing, and this is great, and that's the one I'm going to do. And I've always told people too, as well, it's about, the balance of, can you give 100% to everything you're involved in? Because if you can't, then you need to cut back, and find what your passion is as well about that. Because
you got to learn to say no.
Yes. And that's okay to say no.
It's okay.
I have learned that over the years. It is okay to say no, because if you can't give yourself 100%, you're not doing that organization any favor. You're not helping them at all.
Right.
So definitely balance is top priority. So
yeah. And Cole, what about your reputation? Where does that line up in your daily routine and thoughts?
Sure. So I think this is a great question. My approach, my strategy, whatever you want to call it, to getting involved in the community is, number one, finding things that are important to me, that I support. But also just being there, showing up, lending a hand, helping, like Tina said, knowing when to get involved with something, or maybe something's more of just a one-off. But that's been my approach. And I think, reputation wise, I think that's what people think of me. I'm not the insurance guy that is at the meeting to sell you insurance. I'm the insurance guy, that when there's a need, you can reach out, whether it's, hey, I want a quote, or have a question about, whatever it might be on my current policy with another carrier. And I'm open to all of it.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I don't know if y'all really realize this, but we've almost had a full hour. Can you believe an hour's already gone by? An hour is just not enough. We're gonna have to step it up and go a little longer on these Denton shows.
Well, it's funny you said that, Matt, because I've been talking with Nathan and a couple of the others that's worked with me since day one, and we are considering going an hour and a half, because it is short. You don't think that, or when you're invited and you've never done it before, you're like, man, that's a long time. Will I have enough to say? And then you get involved, and that's what the conversational part of what we do. That's what makes it so interesting and gets everybody involved. So
it is. Well, I want to thank everybody for being on today. If you got something to say to wrap this up, go ahead. Everybody take your shot at this. And I appreciate you guys being on, and I appreciate you guys out there sharing the word, and invite your friends to come and watch the NTX Community Difference for Denton chapter and rewatch the replay on it. And follow us and like us on Facebook and all the other podcast platforms. So, Beth, go ahead.
Everybody get to know Denton. We're a great area and a great city, and you've got all these 5 people right here so willing to help you and make everything wonderful in your life, hopefully. So
Yes,
that's my thing.
Mayor?
Yeah, no, I just want to say thank you, and I can't echo enough what you said about the legacy impact of these things. I you see the Facebook Live stuff, and I do that regular, and I had to be educated on the fact that it's not the live component; it's there after the fact is when most people plug into it. They don't jump on straight away, but that information's captured. So just thank you for the wisdom you're sharing. Thank you for the investment in our community. Yeah, go please discover Denton. And I'll give one fun fact and get out of the way. I always love this. Peterbilt makes 100, right now they're up to 186 custom 18-wheelers every day in the city of Denton. Lots of other great things going on, lots of other companies. And so please do come discover Denton.
Yeah. All right, Tina.
I just say if you are thinking about moving to Denton, definitely do. People are here with their arms open, welcoming. Any organization that I've gone to, everybody has been so friendly, and it is greatly appreciated. So it's a great city.
It is. Thank you for being here. All right,
Thank
Mr. Martin.
you.
All right. Well, I think it's clear we all love Denton, but from an insurance perspective, if you have any questions, whether it's, hey, I want a quote to compare to what I have, or just, hey, I had a terrible experience with a claim, how should things work, all that kind of stuff, I'm here for it. Whether you want a quote or not, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, I agree. So thank you all for being on the first North Texas Community Difference-Denton podcast show. And not only that we're doing this, live on video too, but on all the podcast platforms, you can listen to us on there too. If you need any information, please reach out to me, and you can DM me on Facebook, and I'll respond to you as soon as I can. And thank you all for being on and being our first guest today. Thanks to Beth Caudell for being the co-sponsor, and I look forward to our next shows coming up. And we're going to have some really good guests this year and a lot of good interaction. Also, too, is the North Texas Fair and Rodeo is coming up in August. So everybody prepared for that and come on, because they have an awesome lineup of music and events that are going on here. And the parade is always the first Saturday of the North Texas Fair and Rodeo on the square. And I appreciate you all.
Thank
you.
Bye.